Hello, hello. Right. So, today we're going to play a bit of Evil West. And we're going to smash some vampires to pieces. Oh, I can hear myself. Right. So I've already got a save slot. I've completed the game. Oh, shit. Already completed it, unlocked nearly everything. Today I'm gonna start a new game. See up there, level 23. Gonna start a new game today. Go through the story a bit. See how far we get in a couple of hours.
Since the time of the founding fathers, dark forces have been preying on America. As the fight against these vampires continued, a secret organization has trained people with remarkable skills. The agent's duty is to protect ordinary people from the forces of evil.
Evil. You might not like it, but I think the music in this is good.
Hero said we can trust his source. It's the son of a bitch's sources I don't trust. Retirement is doing wonders for your attitude. Retirement is great. It's getting dragged out of it for the great goddamn trade heist that traps my ass. Hope Chester's in a chattier mood than your sour ass. Don't worry about the other boy. Dynamite's a great conversation starter. While we're on the dynamite, Chester will be none too chatty with his guts sprayed all over a train carriage.
I know how to shape an explosion, Edgar.
Wouldn't be a Wild West game without blowing up some train tracks, would it?
Now!
Harrow's not gonna be happy about the bridge.
Darrow can suck my dick. He's the Secretary of War, not the Secretary of Bridges. Let's go have a look-see. I go high.
Okay, so this is us, we're in control. The graphics aren't like photorealistic, but the lighting in this game is really good. There's
Nah, it's not that bad.
There's a section a bit later on where you go underground and it's red and green, and that looks really cool. It's a lot of you just kind of press forward and just move from one space to another to the arenas, and there are hidden paths. There's a lot of like chests and coins to find, but I'm not like over here. This little stack of coins down here. It takes a lot of money to get good upgrades, and I don't think I'm going to go through finding all of them. Oh, vampire! So, a few little tutorial vampires. There are guns in this, but it's mainly a melee focused game. These are just like the basic grunts. really annoying because on my previous save I've got unlocked loads of new moves and stuff, and I haven't got any of them for this one, so I'm pressing to do things that aren't happening yet. You can find these things. These are like bits of lore and stuff scattered around the world.
All dead. Fuck.
All dead.
Boy, you better make all this worth our time, Chester.
There's a lot of like going over these sort of things, like this one here. There's points of no return. So once you go over them, you can't go back, and a couple of times you'll jump over one sort of a bit earlier than you wanted to, and just know that you've lost out on a chest or a sort of hidden path down there that you wanted to get to but couldn't. It's really annoying. Because some of the paths, at the start of the game, it's obvious which ones are the sort of side path and which one's the main objective. As it goes on and the maps get a bit bigger, I wouldn't say sprawling, but a bit bigger, it becomes less and less obvious which is the hidden path and which is the critical path. And you'll inevitably come to a point that was a point of no return, and you'll just be like, oh shit, so I was supposed to go the other way. Oh no, it doesn't want me to send him away, it wants me to keep him up in the air.
Take that. This would be a bad time for this thing to collapse.
So here's a typical point of no return. There's no way of getting back up that one. And it's alright because these are just the sort of tutorial arena areas. But when you're in the bits between battle arenas and you're looking for the next path, sometimes it can be a bit annoying. You always get that like ping bullet drop sound when you've cleared the last one out of that stage. First big boy. So these ones are all about interrupting their combos. Which is a bit more important in the early stages of the game. But when you get a bit further in, you unlock some more abilities. It becomes less and less important. Heal. You get a constantly recharging heal. Oh, kill me here. Deal with this strong killers. That's him done. And if you pull off sort of those finishing moves, it's a bit like Doom. If you play Doom, when they glow, because they're all sort of fucked up, you pull off the finishing move, it gives you health back. You did nothing. Thank you.
Jesus. Christ. Worst damn barbecue ever.
I'm sure there was a chest hidden around here somewhere. I guess not. So this is the first of the guns it gives you. It's not really a gunplay focused game, but it just adds to a sort of a little bit of your projectile arsenal. And it's also it kind of auto aims for you because it doesn't do much damage at all. A lot of it's about sort of holding them in one place. But again, there's something else you can upgrade as it goes on. Oh, big boys. Makes dealing with them a lot easier because you can just keep them at distance. They're really easy later on. But to begin with, they can be a bit of a pain.
Could get me through. Smash.
And this starts, it shows you that a little bit later on in the game there are very minor puzzles to finding your way through. They're all simple, but again this beginning bit is very much like a tutorial phase, just teaching you how everything works. But there's a lot of like unlockable moves along the way that you can use upgrade points or cash to unlock. More than you'll ever really use, to be honest. So you can kind of not really pick a play style because it is what it is for this game. It's running up and punching them in different ways. But you can focus on certain areas of your moveset more than others. I do think the lighting's good. But being a vampire game, the majority of it's done at night, which is a shame because you lose some of these good effects.
I can smell you, Chess, you lousy skunk. Come here.
You can, but you hinder me more than you help me. But these red areas on the floor, that's what he's throwing, because he's throwing those dynamite. It's teaching you to avoid the damage splash areas. Which, to be fair, you only use a couple of times in the main game. But again, he is pretty much aiming for me more than he is for them here. Oh, they're gonna kill me. Oh no, we're in the... You don't really have many iframes in this. You only really get some when you're doing that little dodge roll. And even then it's only small, you can't really cheat. So the first boss fight, this is mainly just about keeping it away, chipping away. So you do more damage with your fists, especially a bit later on once things get upgraded. But see there, these guys, like all the bosses generally have got attacks that involve them sort of smashing the ground or grabbing you across the whole screen. So it's easier just to keep them at distance.
Alright, Chester, now I'm pissed. Then let's get that son of a bitch.
Why we were here?
Young rentier, still on your father's leash, I see.
Heard you were on your way to the gathering, Chess. What's this? Catering?
Why, I have no idea what you're...
That big shiny ball out there is no good for your sensitive skin.
The Sons don't know what they'll do to me.
Fun game. Let's test that theory.
No, Richard, stop! Belmontville! The gathering's in Belmontville!
Excellent choice, Chester. And since you're feeling so damn helpful, we're gonna be needing a guide. Consider it a promotion. Dipshit.
Belmontville's a long way from the manor. We're on a clock here.
We've been hunting Debano for 3 months. What's another few hours?
Have it your way. But your father's gonna have your ass as an ashtray if we don't make that presentation.
You're retired. What's he gonna do? Fire you?
There's a lot of very abruptly ending cutscenes and just going straight onto the next mission or starting the cutscene at the next place. It can be a bit jarring actually, but at least they're not wasting time.
We're gonna be walking blind into a damn maze.
And if our tick friend here is telling the truth, Debano's gonna be right in the middle of it.
I don't think I'm in a position to lie, do you?
That's the spirit, Chester. Now you lift those fancy illusions and who knows? Maybe you'll make it out of this after all.
The glamour! Even I have my limitations, Mr. Gravener.
You want a limitation? How about walking around without a head?
Grr, gruff, gruff cowboy.
Crawling with familiars. No question.
And where do you think you're going?
Judging by that tone of yours, sounds like I'm making short fancy pants here. Doesn't make a run for it.
In broad daylight. That's why we need familiars. I'm starting to question your qualifications for this job.
Those ass-licking tick lovers should be shot on sight. Ah, what the hell. Maybe we can play with dynamite out here, too. Right, Jess? I'll make you a new waistcoat.
I don't believe my tailor would like that.
See? You're bonding already.
Ah, eat me.
So, there we go. There's kind of the second most useful thing you get given. But at the start of almost every mission, you'll come here, you'll come there with someone else, and for one reason or another, they end up having to wait at the start, and they don't move. And as you progress through, they just appear in random locations as if they were moving the whole time.
You know the can is right there in front of you.
Oh, shut up. I told you my sight's not recovered after the change.
Hey, so you're telling me it's not the booze?
So this whole weak spots thing is important. It's kind of how you end up gaining health back and interrupting bosses' attacks through the rest of the game.
Got through.
So these are the main chests you're after because they contain money and something else important. That'd be like a skin or a point, like an upgrade point. But when you do unlock the points, not all the actual upgrades are unlocked themselves. Some of them are still locked behind. Well, they're just locked, and you have to unlock the ability to buy them. And these are the main ones you're looking for. And there's small chests around as well, but they just have cash in them. And more stuff.
Family of cow.
None of it's really that interesting or important. So you can only really aim with the rifle. The revolvers are just kind of straight from the hip things, and they will hit what you're looking at, but to actually aim you need to use the rifle. And there are a few paths, most of the secret paths. Most of the time you see dynamite against somewhere, it's a secret path. But some of the main ones are hidden behind them as well, but it's not really like hidden to the point where you've got to be clever for finding it. It's just generally turn around and look behind you and you'll normally see them. So, I mean, it's always obvious when you're entering into the next battle arena because most of the transit routes aren't much wider than this. And you can always see when you're about to go into the next battle arena. It's not like it's a surprise, but it does get a bit repetitive.
I'm gonna hang your head on a wall. It'll be less painful if you don't move.
So these ones, you're basically just waiting for the weak spots to pop up. And there's no skill there either because it just snaps straight onto target. I don't know if these ones have it there. To be fair, the timing window isn't very big. And this is about one of the only times you fight these human enemies in the whole game. The rest of it's all like different vampires and stuff and different monsters that get introduced throughout the game. And that's it. You can, oh no, you can always see these other paths, because there's always these like glowing chains whenever you've got to jump over somewhere or get through something, so you can generally see which way the secret paths are. But some of them a bit later on in the game, so you get a bit more hidden.
Smells of ticks. Gathering must be close by. Money.
So here, because we can see this glowing chain, we know it's to go down there. And obviously this is a point of no return. Well, this just points us straight into the next map. Now, there's a bit of this throughout the game. There's lots of these spider areas, and you can't interact with them at all. They're basically just set dressing. But in the options, there is an arachnophobia mode. So if spiders do bother you, you can turn them off, and it basically just gets rid of all these spiders running around on the floor, because that's not a lot of them. There you are, arachnophobia warning pops up. That, some places there's a lot of them on the floor, but again, they don't do anything. They're just kind of dressing.
About right.
So this is just a circle, it just goes round. There might be some, yeah, I think there's a bag of coins down there. But the game likes to throw a few areas of what it will call a maze at you, but it's basically just, there's two routes and one of them's a dead end.
Dime to Bono's here somewhere.
So some of the environments are quite cool. Like, you can't really go and explore them, but they look nice.
Dead end. Great. You seeing this too? Take it off.
Mr. Rentier, on a first date? What do you take me for?
You're right. Maybe a little light to set the mood.
No, no need. I see it now. Of course. The glamour. I'm on it.
Today, Chester.
Please. I need to concentrate. It's not that easy to sever the illusion from its source.
What's the source?
You don't want to know.
You will find out.
Sanguis Eternus.
Well, I'll be damned.
So there's a lot of this where the vampires will put up what they call glamour or glamour. And it's basically just like
it's not about
this visual illusion they put up so that you can't see past it. And at the moment, only vampires have the ability to bring it down. But later on, we will get the ability to break through. It's not something you use outside of a few very specific story points. So this is where I was saying we're starting to get into some of that very red and green lighting scheme, and it looks really good. It looks cool as fuck in that way. So like, the grunts are never really that big of an issue, but when you're in a boss fight, you can use them easily to be like a source of health. because when you kill them using the animation, it drops health, and they don't really do that much. But they can be annoying when they gang up though. So these are the health crystals that they drop, but my health's full, so that's just going to stay there.
I've seen my share of tech architecture, but that's something.
This red and green thing is really cool, and they only use it, as far as I can remember, on this one map, this one mission. And I wish they used more of this in more of the game, because you don't really see this sort of... But the thing is, these are very early missions, aren't they? So I'm guessing they put a lot of the money, they front loaded the money in this game, get all the really cool light and textures and stuff at the beginning. Level up, so we'll have a point to spend. And these are some of the perk trees. Well, at the moment this is the only perk tree. When we unlock, and I think this is the only one I can unlock, but obviously these ones are locked by your level. You have to get up to level 14 to unlock these. But when we unlock a different ability in the game, it opens up a second perk tree, and you basically get to choose between the two. And they have slightly different, so we have to get that one. They get slightly different tracks. And all that one was, it just reduces the cooldown time on your healing gauntlet. So all of your abilities in this game, there's no ammunition to pick up, or you don't run out of it. Like with the you get 6 shots to begin with, and he reloads, but you've got infinite. But it's all about cooldowns, especially some of the bigger, beefier stuff that you get later game. It's all about cooldown times, and some of the handiest stuff is reducing cooldown times. So this is the other type of chest over here. So they're not really hidden, but these ones just have more cash in them. But cash does get important. It kind of gives you some of the better upgrades. But the first few are easy enough. Later game, they take a lot of money, and it takes a lot of boxes and bags to fill that up. These flying enemies, they're weak, but a pain in the ass to fight to begin with, because all you can really do is use the rifle on them. Later on, you unlock abilities to be able to sort of pull enemies towards you, and it makes those easy.
Not enough.
So this is an example of sort of the minor puzzling you get in this game. So we've got to go through there, but it's only part way open, and it shows you where you've got to go. It's never really like you have to explore to find other things, but like, we can see we've got to go over there to that, but it's not difficult to manage. Now, there's other bits of the environment where you can either make a shortcut through, or the only way through is by knocking things down and stuff, just to find your way through, and not all of them are as blatantly signposted as that one. And if some of them are paths to hidden boxes and stuff like that, that's why some of them are quite easy to miss.
Jesus,
Look at that. That lighting's really cool. I wish they did more of it in the game. Let's go, boys! So it's generally a good idea to get rid of the ranged enemies first, because even though they're weak, they can fuck you up in numbers. They just keep chipping away at it. So you get a couple of iframes when you're doing the like executions and stuff on them, but other than that, the only other time is when you're doing a quick dodge. In fact, I don't think you get iframes in a dodge. I think you actually have to time the dodge. But when you do a roll, you get like, I think it's just under a second of an iframe, which you can cheese a little bit, and you can't ever go off the edges. You can't ever run off the map, which is good, because there's points where it would be a pain in the arse. But you get a lot of this. Like, which way did I come in? Was that the way I came in? No, I jumped down, didn't I? So this must be the way. Yeah. It's quite easy to get turned around in the arenas. You'll never get lost. There's no real danger of that. But it can be annoying just figuring out which way you came in. Half the time you can't go back that way anyway. It just wastes time walking across the map. If we drag these big boys over to near these spikes, you'll get different environmental hazards on some of the arenas. I wonder if we can uppercut you into there. Yes, we can. Right, so it just straight up points you at this, and there's just a few of those just around. So the puzzles are never really too difficult to work out. But that red and green is really
looks even bigger up close. Wow, let's crash their little party.
Is there anything through here? No. Oh no, what a surprise! So this is one of those points where they're not powerful, but a lot of them ganging up can really mess you up. I don't think I got hit once there.
We need to leave the shadows. Once our veil of secrecy is lifted, we won't stand a chance. We might be more powerful, but they will crush us with their numbers. Listen to the voice of reason.
That's cool.
Enough. Your alliance thirst for all-out war with the humans endangers us all. Peter Navana. Without the sheep.
The wolves go hungry, yes. But the day is coming when the sheep will outwit the wolves. Haven't you been watching, brother? The humans have harnessed the power of steam and lightning, and they grow mighty. If our hubris allows us to grow fat and lazy in the shadows, they will soon have the power to hunt us down like dogs.
And so, you propose war.
War suggests there is a chance we might lose. I propose we strike. With my new asset, we can control the change. Reclaim the Sanguisuja's rightful place at the top of the food chain.
The Sanguisuj are essentially like the breed of vampire that these guys all belong to.
Dominic, brother, these are blasphemous times. While my methods may very well be at variance with our tradition, I can tell you one thing. If we don't adapt, we will perish.
Enough. I will not allow you and your bastard breed to lead us into annihilation. Peter Davan, for the high crime of conspiracy against your own kind, I sentence you and your line to the true death.
I told you, Father. They wouldn't listen.
We had to try, Felicity Mikata. Our work will be a lot easier if we can help them understand. If we can't...
Then... we... force them to!
Spooky bitch. Bosh. Take that. Okay, so this is basically the first proper boss fight now. And these guys are mainly, especially when you've got this lift powers, because this is still the start of the game, you're better off just chipping away at them from distance until they, because they always glow before they're about to attack, so that's kind of your cue to just dodge until they do something where they reveal weak spots that you can just shoot at, because it does a fair bit of damage to them, and it also drops health if you hit the weak spot. So some of the boss fights are really There we go, so now he's doing... Oh, that was the cheeky one. In a minute he'll do another thing where he basically flies up in the air and just reveals a brilliant spot like this. And if you don't get them in time, he doesn't attack you, but if you don't get them in time, he I think he heals himself as well. So it just makes the whole thing take longer. You can still do damage to him. And you do much more damage with your fist than you do with your gun. But it's not really worth getting close to him at this early point in the game when you haven't got that many abilities. Because he does like a grab thing, which basically takes up the entire screen. So if you're close to him when he does it, you can't really dodge it. But again, the game like to spawn these sort of fodder enemies at you when the bosses are around, and it's best not to kill them straight away because you can use it to harvest a bit of health. Okay, we're doing okay. They also do it to start spamming revolvers all the time, because the revolvers will just auto-target generally whichever enemy is closest to you. So we can run up with a few hits there, but he does like a swipe across the screen. He's up. But you have to stop him doing that, 'cause I'm pretty sure he gets his health back by doing that. So that's him dealt with. Taste that. Oh yeah, I think we've probably got to deal with the fodder. Oh no, all the fodder died.
Think you could have brought a bigger knife?
Some people get a gold watch when they retire. I got Susan here.
You were there the whole time and you didn't help me.
Should have asked him how to get out of here.
Too late. He won't be of any use for a month or two. Wait. What about Chester?
Well, what are you gonna do?
Now that is how you shape an explosion.
That's a spicy meatball.
We're late.
Yeah, at least we won't be going back to the manor empty-handed. Oh, I'll be damned. That's a new way to spend taxpayers' money.
James Harrow. The people's hero. I heard the White House sends him golden toilet paper. As long as he keeps the presidential ass clear of tick trouble.
Heavy Red Dead 2 vibes.
Got a lot of
Here with
to
this
cover
man a
tonight.
bit.
You're not staying for the presentation? The whole institute is in town.
I'll pass on the corporate back-patting session. I don't need another retirement lecture. Here, take this to your father before it wakes up and starts cursing us all to high hell.
Great, so I'll just tell him you've traded killing vampires for swilling cheap bourbon?
Tell him whatever you want.
Fine, skip the presentation. But you ain't getting away from a final drink with me afterwards.
Okay, so this is the manor, this is the headquarters of the Rentier Institute, the vampire hunters. And that big Zeppelin up there is just one of the dickheads who's come, who's technically, like one of the government guys who's technically in charge. You can walk past these guys and they sort of bark things at you, but you can't really interact with them in any meaningful way. And there's a few bits to find, like a couple of lore things scattered around. I think there might be some cash somewhere, but not much.
Heavy as hell.
Where the hell you been? Thought you got bitten by some tick.
Some of those faggy fellas were hiding.
Gravener's with you?
He sends his regards. He's afraid you'll try and talk him out of retirement again.
I don't believe either of us want that.
He was one day away from retirement.
That's Harrow's trinket. I'm sure you'll both be rewarded accordingly.
Edgar isn't some civilian looking for a medal. This is all he knows. Your institute saw to that.
My institute? This isn't about Agent Gravener, Jesse. We are on the cusp of great progress. Great change. Today's presentation is of critical importance to the family. After which...
Edgar is family.
After which... I expect you to step up to your duties here at the manor.
With all due respect, Director, I am a field agent, not a paper pusher.
You're a rentier!
Why must you always make me spoon-feed these things to you, Jesse?
That's his dad.
There are bigger things at work here than running around in caves slaying
The
beasts.
boss.
I do believe someday soon you will see it my way. And if you don't, it's my responsibility to force that change. Now, leave me be. I must prepare for the presentation. And send someone in here to clean up this mess.
Out in Providence. That's why the
Mr.
president
Redhead,
ordered the Western
Agent Feathers is waiting for you in the lobby.
Did you hear about those one?
Here cost me an arm and a leg. Sure hope it's worth it.
You're just in time. The presentation should be starting soon.
What do you got for me this time?
So these are the upgrade trees where you have to spend cash, the coins to get them, and they for some reason get that guy to show you, because you can open this stuff in your pause menu at any time. You don't have to go and see anyone to do it. And that one's probably the most useful. 5-second invincibility when you're healing.
Mr. Rentier, you remember me?
From my first year of cadet training. I'm the shortest one of the bunch.
Yep, whatever.
Gentlemen, if you'll take your seats. And, welcome. Yeah, I'm Assistant Secretary of War, James Harrow. President Cleveland wants you to know how appreciative we are of the vital service the Rentier Institute performs, defending our great country from monsters of all shapes and sizes. He also wanted me to make sure you're not blowing all our money on Mexican Monty, but that's another conversation. Yes, quite. Well, as I say, keep up the good work. God bless you all, and God bless America.
America.
Thank you all for gathering here tonight. It's rare we gather in such numbers, but I believe great progress calls for momentous celebration. Our efforts in the fight against the sanguisuga's spread have too often been baffled by the creature's most insidious weapon, their so-called glamours. These impenetrable illusions have allowed countless fiends to slip through our grasp for too long. That ends now.
This ends
Agent
now.
Rentier, we've upgraded the standard field agent's gauntlet with something our science bots have affectionately named the Zapper. Not exactly an elegant name, but it does the trick. When triggered, the Zapper sends out an electrical impulse that shatters any nearby sanguisuga's glamours forthwith, eliminating what is not and leaving only what is. Once finished, these new gauntlets will be distributed to cells nationwide post-haste, allowing us to sweep our respective territories for glamored nooks and crannies. This is the beginning of a new age, gentlemen. Armed with this gauntlet, there is no way our enemy can surprise us.
No, this electric gauntlet is basically what you use for the rest of the game, and you buy like upgrades to its power and stuff, and you can push and pull enemies and things like that with it, and that's how you plan to play the rest of the game from then on. So it will show you to begin with, you can do a block with it, which I mistimed because I suck, but you can do a block with it and it zaps them like that. Smash them when they're electrocuted.
Jesus Christ. Hope Edgar made it out in one piece.
Edgar. Right, so this is the pull thing, and this makes it a lot easier. So you can sort of grab them and pull them towards you, and they're electrocuted when they get there. And that is also the easiest way to deal with like projectile enemies. And you can also, I don't know if I'm not yet, let's try it, but you can No, it hasn't unlocked it yet. But you can like pull yourself towards the enemy as well, which is useful for kind of getting yourself across the arena when you're in a bit of trouble and getting surrounded.
Left the Harrow Zeppelin. Maybe I can string a rope somewhere.
So now it's going to show us one or the other. This is probably the most annoying, one of the most annoying projectile enemy types. Because they don't have to actually hit you. They throw these little bug tick things that follow you and blow up when they get near you. And it's really annoying. They don't do a lot of damage by themselves, but they tend to gang up on you. Oh yeah, the flying guys. So once you close up, you can pull those towards you, and it's essentially a one-hit kill on them every time. So that's the easiest way of dealing with them as well. Kind of move away from where the rest of the fight is and just pull enemies towards you one at a time. It makes it a lot easier as well because you're not getting hit from the side.
Wing it! Edgar! Did you hear me? Couldn't gotten far.
Jess! Thank Christ! Where's my father?
Still kicking ass last time I saw him.
Old fool thinks he's still in the field.
Listen, he wants us to destroy the archives before these assholes get their hands on it. You get to it, and I'll find Harrow's pampered ass. Meet me out front.
Oh, shock. I'll go and do it all while you all do
I'd have to
nothing.
blow up my own house. Please, help me! Christ. What am I doing here? I'm gonna find who did this and tear them into
So
an asshole.
that cable up just opens the door. It doesn't point that cable out to you the first time. You walk all the way to this door and then it says, oh, the door's locked, and shows you where the cable is, just teaches you to follow the lines. Right, so this is the dash. This is the one where it shoots us towards them. It does the same thing as the pull, basically. Stuns them. But, useful for zipping you across the arena. Throw you in. What's happening? There you go. You go bang. So you can get some other cool perks and upgrades as you go along, like when you cannonball these enemies around the arena, you can like fire them into other enemies and it does extra damage. You can fire them at bosses, and you can get one that I think makes them explode on impact as well, which is good because it does splash damage to other enemies around. In fact, I think there was one boss where the only way of killing... So these are all the vampire heads. Apparently. I didn't notice this the first time. But I assume these are all the other vampires, like we cut that other dude's head off before. I know there's something down here. It's just a lore thing. I'm not interested in those.
Joseph Warren and...
So all the angry vamps are shouting at us. And that's the last we ever really see of them.
I can smell the gas. Destroy this place before we break into the archives. Jesus, gotta get out of here. It's gonna blow.
It's gonna blow! Never over till you've had a little fight. But the easiest way of dealing with these guys, pull them towards you and punch them. Essentially, that is even, I mean, if you play it, you might get a different, something else that you sort of gravitate to a bit more. But on my playthrough, that was kind of what I went with. There's a couple of upgrades you can get to upgrade pulling the enemies towards you and giving them a smack about the head when they're all shocked and stunned. But that was essentially just kind of how I played the whole game. There were a lot of people that were quite mad about this game when it came out, saying that the shooting mechanics were a bit shit. Because I think some people thought this was marketed as more of a shooter game before it came out, but it's not. It's a melee game, really. It's more punching focused. You do get some pretty good guns.
Find my father.
Later on, but a lot of them work off like cooldown periods and stuff. So again, it is just essentially walking from fight arena to fight arena, which is fine. The story's still pretty good though. So these are meant to be quite difficult enemies, apparently, and they are quite difficult at the start of the game. But if you can get them one-on-one, they're easy enough to deal with. But when they gang up on you, they can be quite a pain. At least we leveled up again. So these are all the things you have to get them in order. You can't skip ahead. Like I can't go for this one or this one, even if I was that level, without having bought the previous ones in that track. But I can go for any of these ones here. And again, it's telling me I have to get this one, that one's. That's why that one's glowing. But this is a pretty useful one. It does like what it shows you here. It does like an earthquake punch, and you can damage multiple enemies at a time, which is handy. We'll show it that now. Boom! And that's something you can upgrade. And the upgrade on that one does become pretty powerful. But in my opinion, the most useful thing was just this shot of them using the E combo on them. Superman! Right, so which way did I come? That way, I think it's this way, yeah. So down bottom left, you've got those little battery signs. That's your energy that you get in your gauntlet. And certain moves, like some of the big power moves that you get, use energy. You can always still punch with it. You can always block and like pull them towards you. But the big power moves, like the earthquake punch and stuff, and the other things that you unlock, use energy, and you have to find pickups. And enemies drop energy same way they do health later on as well. So you'll quite often find there's like, even though this arena's got a lot going on in it, there's always going to be a couple of ranged enemies standing around the edges. I found it was always easier to deal with them because they mess you up otherwise. Needed to heal them. So they can, when you're in these combos, the other enemies can still damage you. So you'll have someone like come up on the side of you and get in a few cheap hits like that while I'm doing this. And it still does affect you, so that can be annoying. So you're trying to deal with these enemies and you can still be killed. But it would, I suppose it would be far too, the game's not particularly hard, but it would be far too easy if you were always invulnerable, because with my playthrough that's kind of what I spent the whole game doing. So if you were pretty much always invulnerable, that would be a bit too easy, I guess. Where'd he go?
This.
Get him out of here. I got this.
Don't be cross with me, Father. I couldn't leave you at the mercy of these savages. Could you not do that, you fleshy toad? You nearly hit him.
Oh shit, she's back.
Mighty Rentier Institute, choking on ash and blood. Hoped you'd make it more difficult.
So she's essentially the big bad for the rest of the game.
Jess, we won't make it to Calico like this.
I like how the revolver's the one he kills on the cutscene, but not when we need to use them.
Not to let me die like that.
I almost had her. If it weren't for that old wound. Oh, Jesus Christ, don't get old, son.
Yeah, never get married. Now stop blabbing, you're gonna be fine. I know what I'm doing.
This is the key, Jesse. Don't let it out of your sight. It's all we've got. It's in your hands now.
We need to stop. Stop? We need to get the fuck out of here.
We need to find a defensive position to hold us over till morning. Then we head to Calico.
Come
my wife could blow this defensive position over with a wet fart.
We need the higher ground.
And that's where the sun will hit first.
I'll get the horses, and we'll stand our ground up there.
So this is the boomstick. This is the sawn-off shotgun they give you. And this one, basically, it's mapped to the square button, and it works on a cooldown. You just press it, it blasts what's in front of you, and like the healing ability, it works on a cooldown. Pretty powerful, but again, you can only really use it every so often. Something that becomes quite useful for it's not a massive cooldown, it's ready again now. It's pretty much a necessity for some of the mini bosses you get later on. I'm losing health, and I can see it's these fucking dickheads up here. They're gonna kill me. Thankfully, I'm a health system as well. But if you don't deal with them early, they can really mess you up. So those little overhealths that you find every now and again, they basically overclock your health. They give you like double health for a little time, which comes in handy. Big boys. So even these big ones, you can you can't like block their attacks. In fact, you can block them now, but you can even pull those in with the zapper, and it stuns them as well. So I think like two and a bit little combos on them does the trick with them. But this is one of the annoying types of mini-boss, which I'm stood right next to for some reason. Oh, thank you, teleported me away. They have this shield, and the only way of breaking that shield is by punching it or using a shotgun on it. Otherwise you can hit them in the head or in the back. But the shield is a pain in the ass. But when you break it, you get a few hits on it, and then it does come back. But you have to be careful, like dodging in and out with your attacks, because you can't like shock these enemies with your electric like you can the small ones. So there isn't a huge variety of enemy types in the game, but some of them get stronger as the game gets on. And but obviously, when you unlock more abilities and powers, like these guys, I remember this guy gave me quite a bit of trouble on my very first playthrough. These guys are like, you know, a dime a dozen later in the game, and they're pretty easy to deal with once you've got some good abilities. Oh, he's almost done me there. Oh, I need to keep away. My regen isn't, my heal hasn't generated back. Oh, he's got me. It's the first time we died so far. So yeah, the autosave points are pretty obvious. You can always push back somewhere really close to where you were. But yeah, these guys. I mean, he's giving me a little bit of trouble now, but they get pretty easy later on in the game.
Oh, this ain't good.
Yeah, the TNT stack block off their shield. I remember. Generally it is easier. With the mini bosses, you kind of just stay away and chip away at them. Oh, that's not staying away. Oh, so you are throwing stuff now, you are helping. Thanks of you for turning up. Right, heals. Go back in. So that shotgun can hit multiple enemies as well. Bunch them together like that. You can, oh, for fuck's sake. So when he's got the shield up, you can't, I don't know what actually knocked the shield off, but when he's got the shield up you can't shoot at him. Well, you can shoot at him, you have to do anything. If I can get them to do the animation, oh, he's going to do me again. Yes. Right. It doesn't do it every time. For fuck's sake. It doesn't do it every time. You have to get them into a stunned state. Yeah, you can shoot over the shield as well, hit him in the head. Yeah, that's handy to know. Right, so that time, that one dropped health. We should have him this time. Oh! Shouldn't look away. That was close. Right, so he's gone into the station to finish him. That was embarrassing. And we've leveled up. So this is the upgrade tree that you buy things with money. That's a very useful one because I do that a lot. So we go across to perks. We got another perk point. There's a second upgrade tree now, all to do with like the electric stuff, which comes in very handy. But what else is there? That one's probably the most useful. Puts more health on the field.
Got it. Everybody move! Up! Up! Cover me, Richie! Damn you!
So this one wants you to feel like you're in danger, but they're moving at like 2 frames a minute because they're set dressing, and if you don't enter their battle arena, which we can't now, they don't come out the arenas either, so you're not really ever in danger when you're not in the fighting areas. So you've got time to look around some of the secret stuff.
William, you hear me? Hurry the hell up, Jess!
So this is one of those, you can see it just behind my head, but survive until dawn. So a minute or so of surviving, the enemies will just constantly come in. No, don't kill him. Oh, I wanted his health. Big boy. But we can pull you and fuck you up too. But in numbers, the small guys, even though some of them are polite enough to leave me alone when we're doing a combo and a finisher, they can be more dangerous and annoying than the bigger boys, just because they swarm you. Oh, stuck. That happens a lot. If you like dodge into the side, you can get stuck. Different parts of the environment.
Running real low, Jess! Kinda
So we've gone into basically God mode now.
Jesus, how many did she send after us?
Call it complete overload or overcharge. Something happened with the gauntlet. And you basically just go into God mode for a few seconds. That's something you can unlock further on down. But that's the first time we've seen it.
Out of lightning?
Good thing we still got a big shiny ace up our sleeve.
Jesus fucking Christ. I don't think he's breathing.
Calico, it's around the corner. There's a doctor there.
Oh, lady doctor.
Doc, we need help.
Lewis, Protocol Epsilon. Sit down and roll up your sleeve. We will save your father, Mr. Rentier.
Oh, you've heard of me.
Hey. It's fine. He's the cell's engineer.
Virgil only. It's an honor to finally meet you in the flesh. Sir, your gauntlet is a thing of beauty. Only a genius could...
I need that fixed. Yesterday.
I'll need a bigger lab if I'm gonna solve the mysteries of time travel, sir. I mean...
How are we doing?
Harrow needs a scapegoat. He won't leave without someone to blame for that fiasco.
Pissed off little Highborn looking for her maker's head? No one could have predicted that.
I don't think she did all that for just a
Gruff.
We're missing something.
Cowboy.
I bet my last buck we'll hear more from this Felicity tick pretty soon. I'm gonna check if Amelia needs some backup with Harrow.
Who do I have to bend over this bar and indiscreetly fuck to get some coffee around here?
What a day.
Fair.
See you in the
Fair.
briefing room.
Sounds like a good trade for some good coffee. Right. We've been going for a couple of hours and we're starting to get a few little electric things on our belts now. So we're going to head back to main menu. I think we're going to call it there. We'll probably pick it up again some other time. See how it goes. Right, well. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.